Я думаю, это должно быть слишком хорошее предложение, чтобы я опять начал вес гонять 70 килограмм, так как я уже не молодой тоже в этом виде спорта, и каждая весогонка забирает тоже годы здоровья, и уже не так легко, как раньше вес гонять. Было бы интересно, тоже хороший боец, как раз и на хорошей победной серии, и молодой. Думаю, получится интересно. Ну, посмотрим, как он меня вчера не удивил. Если он удивил UFC, то, наверное, он будет следующим.
Pelear súper aburrido, le da igual el público, que no es la forma en la que yo veo y me proyecto en este deporte, porque yo siempre apuesto para entretener a todo el mundo, de que la gente cuando muy desesperado por intentando llegar a una posición dominante para coger aire, y me verían a mí con muchísima chispa de ponerlo a dormir, que finalmente lo conseguiría.
A storm is brewing in the lightweight division as Islam Makhachev fires back with a challenge that's shaking the entire MMA world. Recently, after arriving in Dagestan for his homecoming, Islam Makhachev held a media scrum where he finally addressed the burning question. Will he fight Ilia at 155 or stay at 170? Islam cleared the air, saying that if the Topuria fight is coming at 155, he actually thinks it's the best option on the table. At the same time, he admitted that repeatedly cutting weight isn't as easy anymore, especially after moving up to 170, but if the UFC offers the fight at lightweight, Islam says he's more than ready to make it happen.
Ислам, если UFC тебя попросят провести бой с Ильей Топурией в 70 килограмм, согласишься ли или теперь только 77?
70, я думаю, это должно быть слишком хорошее предложение, чтобы я опять начал вес гонять 70 килограмм, так как я уже не молодой тоже в этом виде спорта, и каждая весогонка забирает тоже годы здоровья, и уже не так легко, как раньше вес гонять.
Islam Makhachev also shared his thoughts on who he believes poses the biggest threat to him in the welterweight division. He dismissed the idea that anyone is truly a threat, but acknowledged that UFC 322 showcased some incredible performances. He specifically pointed to Michael Morales and Carlos Prates, praising both fighters for their impressive finishes. Islam noted that UFC 322 proved the welterweight division is more active and dangerous than ever, and he's ready for whoever rises to the top of the rankings.
Что видишь самым опасным соперником в полусреднем весе?
Самым опасным? Ну вот на моем турнире дрались двое ребят, оба выиграли бои досрочно, оба молодые, хорошо заканчивают бои. Но у нас сейчас дивизион, я думаю, самый активный, самый молодой, где самые такие конкурентные бои. Я думаю, UFC в ближайшее время определит. И вчера был хороший бой, бывший чемпион дрался с молодым парнем, и я думаю, у нас сейчас есть минимум 3-4 претендента. И в ближайшее время, наверное, уже недели-две будет ясно, кто будет следующим претендентом.
Shifting the focus to the recent wins at UFC 322, Islam went on to praise Arman Tsarukyan for a dominant performance. He said he was rooting for Arman to win, but he didn't expect the fight to be that one-sided. Islam applauded Tsarukyan for proving why he's the top contender right now. And then came the surprising moment. When asked about Garry's recent call-out, Islam acknowledged Garry's winning streak and the storyline he's trying to build between Dagestan and Ireland. But he made it clear that Garry's performance didn't impress him at all. Still, Islam added that if the UFC is interested in that matchup, he's ready to take the fight.
Гарри, тебе интересен этот соперник, он вызвал тебя на бой, на поединок, особенно с учетом того, что получится новая веха противостояния Дагестана с Ирландией. Может быть.
Да, было бы интересно. Тоже хороший боец, как раз. И на хорошей победной серии, и молодой. Думаю, получится интересно. Ну, посмотрим, как он меня вчера не удивил. Если он удивил UFC, то, наверное, он будет следующим.
Meanwhile, Ilia has also revealed the list of opponents he wants next. He stated that he has a strong desire to fight Paddy Pimblett for his next title defense, and if the UFC doesn't allow him to move up in weight just yet, he's fully ready to face Paddy at featherweight. However, Topuria made it clear that if he does get the opportunity to move up, he would love to fight Islam Makhachev next. He also shared his thoughts on how the UFC could structure the division moving forward, possibly giving him a fight with Paddy first, and then allowing him him to move up to create a massive pound-for-pound showdown.
Tengo a Paddy en la mente. Me gustaría pelear con Paddy si es que no me dejan subir en peso welter para pelear con Islam, porque el combate que realmente me gustaría tener es en contra de Islam en la tercera categoría. Pero bueno, vamos a ver, a lo mejor hago un combate y después en verano hay alguna fecha en la que sí que me dejen subir de categoría y pueda pelear por el tercer cinturón, o se cree un nuevo cinturón llamado el Pound for Pound en un peso pactado en donde nos encontramos los dos y peleamos por ese cinturón de libra por libra. Así que vamos a ver, hay muchísimas opciones, como siempre. Vamos a ver.
Talking about Islam Makhachev's performance against Jack Della Maddalena, Ilia Topuria has once again fired shots at the lightweight champion. He said that Islam simply did his job, but claimed it was disappointing to see him fight only for the win rather than put on a show. According to Ilia, Islam doesn't care about entertaining the audience, something Topuria says he prides himself on. Topuria didn't stop there. He also blasted Jack Della Maddalena, saying the Australian showed zero resistance against Makhachev. He argued that the desire to win was completely missing from Jack's performance and that it exposed major flaws in his game.
La verdad que me decepcionó muchísimo su actuación, pero más que su actuación, la que me decepcionó más fue la actuación del campeón pasado, de Jack de la Maddalena. La verdad que lo vi poniendo cero resistencia, lo vi como que con cero ganas de realmente estar en el combate, ¿no? Porque al final ese espíritu de querer ganar a uno se le nota, ¿no? Independientemente de que te estén dominando en un combate, no sé, esas garras a uno se le nota, y eso es lo que no vi en él. Islam finalmente hizo su trabajo, lo que siempre hace, pelear súper aburrido, le da igual el público.
He didn't hold back at all. In fact, Ilia Topuria went even further. Despite calling Islam's style boring, he claimed he is more than ready to face him. Ilia boldly predicted that if this fight happens, which he believes fans would absolutely love, he would put Islam Makhachev to sleep in devastating fashion. Topuria said the world would witness a desperate Islam trying to survive the pressure and explosiveness he brings. He also shared his thoughts on the UFC's decision-making, saying that if the promotion wants the fight, he's ready tomorrow, and if they choose another route, he's fine with that too, and will follow the company's direction.
Pero bueno, ojalá ese combate suceda también. Yo creo que sería un combate de altísimo nivel, de la que la gente disfrutaría muchísimo. Verían a un Islam muy desesperado por intentando llegar a una posición dominante para coger aire, y me verían a mí con muchísima chispa de ponerlo a dormir, que finalmente lo conseguiría.
Para terminar, Casablanca así, ¿no? ¿Cómo lo vemos?
A ver, si la empresa así lo quiere, si se me necesita, yo voy a estar ahí. Y si no, bueno, pues al final yo siempre apoyo la decisión de que cada uno mire por el bien de su empresa, ¿no?
So right now, Islam Makhachev's recent victory and the speculation over his next opponent have become the hottest topic in MMA. Meanwhile, Chael Sonnen weighed in on the growing debate, noting that an Islam versus Ian Garry fight mainly appeals because of the drama Garry brings to the media. At the same time, Sonnen believes it could be an easy win for Islam considering Garry's skill set. He also highlighted that conversation about a potential Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria matchup has been ongoing, giving fans even more fuel to speculate about who the welterweight champion will face next.
Islam is now spouting back and forth with Ian Garry. Ian Garry has a skill set that would be very helpful for Islam. Ian Garry has an ability to bring attention and bring media to a fight. But is Garry the right guy? That's where something's missing. Islam was so red hot a couple weeks ago. There was discussions of him down at 155 pounds and discussions of him at 170 pounds. That on the White House lawn, it's going to be Islam versus Ilia Topuria. Like, those conversations can come back. I'm just sharing for you. A week ago, they were here.
Chael Sonnen pointed out that while discussions about a potential Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev fight are starting to fade, Islam has firmly established himself as one of the best showmen in the lightweight division, dominating his recent bouts with precision and skill. Sonnen highlighted that Ian Garry is now being talked about as the next challenger. But in all the hype, Islam remains unfazed. He lets his performance and strategy speak for him, following his own path rather than the media's narrative, showcasing his unique ability to win through mastery of technique and fight IQ.
Victory by Islam, thus making Islam a bigger star. There's less conversation. So Islam is now starting to lock in at least a little bit on Ian Garry, and I imagine if you're in Islam spot, whoever the most recent main eventer in your weight class to get a victory, right? Most recent featured fight of your weight class to get a victory. I imagine you got to weigh in on him. And one thing I love about Islam, he really doesn't care. He will genuinely take on anybody. He genuinely believes, like Islam lives by a code, but part of that code is that sport tells me who to fight. I don't tell sport. I got to tell you, I love that. Through Sambo, which Islam pays a lot of credit to. Through Judo, which Islam pays a lot of credit to. Through freestyle and Greco-Roman wrestling, which Islam is surrounded with and gives credit to.
Meanwhile, none of Islam Makhachev's dominance talk has deterred Ian Garry from wanting a fight with the lightweight champion. In a recent interview, Garry said that the chance to face a pound-for-pound king and welterweight top champion has him more than excited. He made his case by pointing to his recent win over Belal Muhammad, highlighting that 14 out of 17 takedowns were defended, proving he can handle elite-level competition. In his own words, Ian is not going anywhere until he gets a title shot against Islam Makhachev.
You are looking for a fight with Islam Makhachev, the pound-for-pound #1 in the world, the current welterweight champion of the world, and he's someone who wants to grab a hold of your leg and take you down. And in a warm-up fight, stylistically, when someone wants to take me down and get me to the ground with Belal Muhammad, and I think was it 10 takedowns I stuffed? That's a pretty good reason to want to see the fight with Islam. Do you know what I mean? Someone said on the broadcast I had stuffed 14 of 17 takedowns of Belal Muhammad and Shavkat Rakhmonov. That's some elite numbers, Aaron.
Ian Garry didn't hold back, criticizing the ongoing speculation about who Islam Makhachev should fight next. He firmly believes that he is the most deserving contender and dismissed any other potential opponents. Garry asserted that on one side stands Islam Makhachev, the new pound-for-pound #1 at lightweight, and on the other is Ian Garry himself, one of the most polarizing fighters in the division. According to him, just the combination of their names is enough to create a massive must-watch fight that would sell itself.
Opinions are of the night. There's been a lot that's happened in the division. I'm the most deserving. There's no argument of that. There's no debate about that. I fought the hardest road. I've beat the toughest guys, and I am next. It's the biggest fight you can make in the welterweight division. You've got the current champion, the pound-for-pound #1 in the world, in Islam Makhachev. You've got the most polarizing welterweight in the division, a guy who keeps winning in Ian Garry. These two guys alone can sell the fight and put on this massive fight. But then you've got this bigger picture behind the scenes.
Meanwhile, Arman Tsarukyan is also staking his claim as a top contender. He asserted that he is the one who truly deserves a title fight against Ilia Topuria, insisting that Ilia shouldn't face anyone else. Tsarukyan believes his skill set is exactly what it would take to challenge Topuria and make it difficult for him to handle. Highlighting his abilities, he noted that he is a well-rounded fighter with striking, grappling, and all-around skills that he believes surpass Topuria's. He also pointed out that while Ilia's hands are powerful, they aren't faster, and if they were to fight, Tsarukyan says he would never let it go the distance.
I know that you've already made your case, that's what you want next, and it makes complete sense. Why will you be able to be the one to defeat him?
I mean, you can watch my fights and to see like I'm a well-rounded fighter. I can strike, I can wrestle, I can kick, and my endurance is good, my condition, I'm explosive, confident, young. I don't know, I can like go so much things. I'm better than him, you know. He's maybe his hands is not faster but powerful, but I'm not gonna stay on that distance. I'm smart.
He even took a shot at Paddy Pimblett while sending a direct message to Ilia Topuria, insisting that it is 100% in his mind that he is the only fighter who deserves a title shot against Ilia. He reminded everyone of his capabilities, pointing to his devastating win over Dan Hooker, and noting that he has already defeated multiple top-level fighters. Addressing Ilia's desire to fight Paddy, Tsarukyan dismissed it entirely, claiming that such a matchup matchup would be laughable because, in his view, Paddy Pimblett isn't a real fighter at this level.
Do you think you will be next for Ilia Topuria?
It's 100% gotta be me. It's no way they can give Paddy Pimblett fight. Everybody gonna laugh at them because I'm number one contender. I proved it again. What do they want from me, you know? And I went there, performed, destroyed Dan Hooker, and they wanna put the guy who is fake making rank.
As the conversation heats up, Dominic Cruz has also weighed in. He asserted that if Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria are to face each other, the fight should be made at 155 pounds. In his view, that weight gives Topuria a real chance to challenge Islam, whereas Islam's performance at 170 showed just how dominant he is. Cruz highlighted that Islam's elite-level grappling speaks volumes about his dominance, but he believes that if Topuria wants a genuine opportunity, he should stay at 155 and make the matchup happen.
I don't think so. Just because the grappling is. I'm not saying it can't be done, obviously.
Yeah, sure.
I'll never be that guy to say that. But if we're going to look at just the way the fight would lay out, you know, in grappling, we cut the most weight because we want the advantage of the strength. And there's no question that at 170, Makhachev can put on more size and more muscle than Topuria could. So I like 155 gives Topuria a real good chance.
Cruz went on to review the list of names being discussed as potential next opponents for Islam Makhachev, giving Kamaru Usman and Michael Morales high marks. He especially praised Morales, noting that he has seen him in the gym and that Morales brings a unique set of skills capable of challenging Islam. Despite acknowledging Islam's long winning streak against other opponents, Cruz asserted that Michael Morales should be the next fighter to face Islam Makhachev.
I like who's got the biggest win streak at all of them right now?
Man,
Protest or Garry or?
No, it's Rachmanov and Michael Morales are both 19-0 in MMA, and I believe 7 or 8-0 in the UFC. Ian Garry just has his one loss, and it was the short notice fight with Rachmanov a year ago.
I like Protest and Morales.
Yeah.
But I could give Morales a title shot too, to be honest, because I've seen that guy in the gym, and there's things about him that don't make sense, like the way that he moves. I'm telling you, he's a freak gymnast too. He can do the craziest things. He can really challenge the strength of Makhachev differently than anybody.
And here we are. The lightweight and welterweight division has never been this heated, with Islam Makhachev's dominance, Topuria's fire, Garry's hunger, and Sarukyan staking his claim the next big fight could shake the MMA world. Who do you think deserves the shot? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to Boxism for all the latest breakdowns, insider updates, and fight predictions. The fight game waits for no one, so stay in the loop right here at Boxism.